Everyone, happy Wednesday. So I know I had posted earlier today about a meditation that I did for motherhood. It was a great meditation. Absolutely enjoyed it. And I just started thinking about my day and how much that meditation helped me today. As a mother of a 2-year-old, a very stubborn 2-year-old, I found myself being able to handle the overwhelming parts of the day. And that's when you get the no's and the don't want to's and anything like that. So I was going through some old literature from when I was in school to learn yoga, and I came across a chapter that I didn't really pay attention to before. And after today, and after actually, I'm going to be honest, after becoming a mom, this really spoke to me. And it's actually called Physical Poetry, Uniting Yoga and Ayurveda, which we'll get into later, but this is the book. And in chapter 14, there is a chapter for women. Now the book goes through asanas, goes through poses, the benefits to every single pose that you can think of, and how it can help you, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually. And I really loved the first paragraph of this chapter, and I felt like it should be shared. I should share it with people, because unless you've been in yoga your whole life or have become very passionate about it, or maybe going to school for it, you wouldn't really know about this book. And it's the beginning of the chapter has a quote by Mary Wollstonecraft, who's a huge feminist, and it says, "Taught from infancy that beauty is woman's sceptre, the mind shapes itself to the body, and roaming around its gilt cage, only seeks to adorn its prison." So I read this a couple of times. I'm like, Jesus, okay, how do I interpret this? And I got kind of stuck, because it makes sense to me, but then in a way it doesn't make sense to me. And so then I went to the beginning of the chapter and reread it, and the very first paragraph says, "Our lives as women have ups and downs specific to our gender. We are pulled by the tides of the ocean, rocked by the phases of the moon. Most of all, we are duped by the powerful forces of modern media. Believing that great expense is necessary to maintain beauty in our youth, we come into our powerful years in a culture that tragically worships only youth and beauty. Small wonder that so many of us wind up confused and frustrated." I reread this paragraph and I was like, how did I miss this before? And I think, when I was in school in my 20s, I was focused, but of course you're in your 20s and you're in your new apartment and you're doing all these things, and it doesn't really speak to you as it does as you get older and you have more life experience. And to me, it really spoke to me today, because one of my really good friends just had a baby, and we were having a conversation, and she expressed to me and how she's like, sometimes I just feel like I don't know if I'm a good enough parent, and I feel like I look at my body and it's changed. And it's so true, because I went through that when I had my son, and I know my other friends went through it and other women go through it. And this chapter really speaks to it, because it tells you we're rocked by the phases of the moon. I mean, the phases of the moon will definitely go with the woman's body. And it's really hard to find balance. I guess that's where I'm going with this, because you start to try to be able to take control over everything that you can, your body, your emotions, your family, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, it's keeping up with media or things that dictates how we should be or how we should feel or anything like that. So this chapter really spoke to me, and I wanted to share it because I feel like it's a good chapter, but the very first paragraph is just like, wow. And after having my meditation this morning for motherhood, and I think that's what really opened my eyes to it, because I actually relate to the paragraph. And I thought it'd be good for other people to know, or other moms, you know, women in general, that we can become confused and frustrated. We can become so caught up in wearing every single hat if you are a mom and a wife, and you need to be the person who has to take care of every single schedule. That's me. And you want to make sure that you take care of yourself, and you know who you are, and you're trying to stay fit and stay in shape, and then you have everything going now with COVID and everything, and you can't really go anywhere, and you can't really be with the people that you're close to because of everything happening. And it makes sense. And even if you're not that, maybe you're not a mom, maybe you don't have a family, maybe you're barely getting into life, and you come across this and you're like, I'm trying to keep up with modern media. I'm trying to keep up with, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I should have a career, or I shouldn't have a career. I should be married, or I shouldn't be married. So I wanted to just share this paragraph because I feel like it's very powerful. And if you are interested, you know, I'll post it on my timeline, the book, if you'd like to look into it. And it's really good, especially if you're pregnant, and or if you're not, you know, it really speaks to you. So I know I'm rambling, I apologize, but what I just wanted to share with you is I myself have gone through frustrating, overwhelming times as a mom. But not only as a mom, even before becoming a mom, when I became anything that had a change, a tidal wave, or something that just shook my world and I was not used to, and I have a slight thing of control. I do suffer from anxiety, but I really related with this paragraph because it can happen in any phase of life. If you're a female gender, of powerful forces of modern media, or the phases of the moon, or tides of the ocean that just come and they kind of crash into you, and you're like, whoa, what? That is what that paragraph says to me. And I wanted to share it and just say, it's okay if the tide hits. It's okay if you feel like the ocean is just out of control in your life, because you can gain control back. And I feel like it's very important to say that, just because we have, us as women, and I'm sure men do too, but I know from a woman's perspective, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And in higher standard, I don't mean to other people, I mean for ourselves. We are our own worst critic. We are the most judgmental to ourselves. But at the same time, we are also children of the universe, and we need to be gentle with ourselves as we would with our children, or with a friend who's in a crisis. It doesn't change anything. And so all of this tying together is finding peace and patience. Find patience with yourself. Find patience with the situation. And I know it can be hard at times, and it can be very frustrating, but just remember that there are outlets that you can do. I strongly suggest meditation. It has really helped me. I was really hard at first to get into meditation, just because I have a monkey mind, and my mind would go to grocery lists and this and that, and plans with friends, and need to meet with family, and I could never really focus. And yoga is one of the main reasons it really pulled me, is because yoga was the only thing that could make that monkey stop. It was the only thing that would quiet my mind down for an hour, 45 minutes, when I really started to practice before I became an instructor. And it really helped. So that's what I hope to bring. But this is my little tidbit for your midweek, your midweek release, is it's okay if the ocean and the tides and the phases of the moon rock it just a little. It's okay, because you will find control. Just take a moment and breathe and refocus and reset. And remember that you are the author to your story. Nobody else, just you. You can change a chapter, you can keep a chapter, you can do whatever you want. You can rewrite that chapter. So I really wanted to share this. Just like I said, it really spoke out to me. And if y'all enjoyed this little rant about a book, please follow me, message me if you'd like to hear more about it, or if you'd like to get the book yourself. It's a really good book. It incorporates yoga with your life. It incorporates, this is how it's going to help you in this instance, basically. So yes. So I am going to go ahead and sign off. I'm Christine. I am from KH Balanced Yoga, and I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope maybe it helps you in a way, in a little bit, to know that it's okay if it feels a little crazy right now, because you will gain control. Just take a moment and breathe. Namaste.